Hey everyone out there, since I uploaded the video for the CFS 500, I had 115 views, something like that. Don't really care about the comments. All I care is that people actually searched for it, because it's not like something that's going to be in the top 10 or anything. So I know at least 100 of you took a look at it to see what was going on. So it must have been helpful to somebody. I actually went out and ordered the 700 series because I'm so impressed with the 500. Actually, at the moment right now, I've had it on this 180 gallon tank that I've just basically built, and the 500 has cleared up all the sand dust, and it has everything in the tank pretty stable right now, and that's for 48 hours on just the 500 alone. I can't tell you the gallons per hour that it's actually pushing. You know, I'm just some broke single dad that, you know, has to skimp on money to get fish in his house. So it was on the 75 back there. It was doing a fantastic job, but the fish are getting too big, so I've built this 180 basically. I'm still finishing the stand as far as the panels and everything, you know, whatever I can scrounge. That's basically the inside. I got driftwood from a river. I actually had to tie it down to slate because it was floating. Anyways, regardless, let's move on to this. So I ordered the 700 just so I could have the UV sterilizer and the little extra capacity that it has inside of it. I still haven't opened it, just showed up today. I'm going to slap it on the 75 and let it build up bacteria before I move it over to the 180 and then finally move the fish over. But I thought I'd post this in case anybody's interested in the 700 series. They can, you know, take a look at this and hopefully decide whether or not it's for them. Okay, hang on one sec because I got to use my trusty old tripod for this. Alrighty. So the one thing I can tell you right off the bat is this thing is pretty gigantic. It's at least, I don't know, 2/3 taller than the size of the last one. I'm wondering actually right now if I actually have enough space underneath the aquarium itself to fit this under there. I'm praying that the top is just a giant box and it's not actually the size of the filter. So let me measure the box for you really quick. Yeah, the box is 2 feet tall. That tells you anything right there. Oops. Also, just FYI, my daughter's with me. So if I get lost in conversation, it's because I'm dealing with her at the moment. Same thing as the other one, the instructions, anything you need to know about maintenance, all that stuff is printed here. There's actually no instruction manual or anything like that. That was included with the 500. So onto this box. Yeah, the box is kind of tiny. Looks like the same size as the 500 one. So looking at the filter down there, I can tell it's already really tall. Hoping it's not like 1.5 feet or anything like that. So inside the box, let's see what we got here. Same stuff, you know, inlet, outlet, sponge, filter for inlet. That's pretty big actually, gigantic. Whoops, sorry, I'm trying to get used to the camera itself. So as you can see, that's pretty big, and it has a sponge on top of it. Slide that back in there. Inside the box, the same stuff. The valves look exactly the same size. The outlet, unfortunately, looks like it's exactly the same size. This right here is the plug, I believe, for the UV lights. Bunch of good stuff in here. The rings, a couple of clamps, typical stuff what I expected. Yeah. At least in the last one, the tubes were in the box. Here they're just in with the filter. Looks like the same thing, 3 feet long, which, to tell you the truth, people complain it's not long enough. I haven't had an issue at all. It reaches from one side of my 75 to the other with a bunch of slack on the 500 series, so I don't see how this is going to be a big problem there. But I'm probably going to have to get bigger hoses for the 180 since it's 7 feet across. So again, 2 hoses, same as the other series, onto this giant thing. Okay, nothing else in the box. So for this, yeah, this is a monster. I highly recommend you make sure you have room for this. So the filter itself is 20 inches tall. Yeah, that's gigantic. Let me see if I can put this down here. Oh, I'll put that down a little bit. There we go. So I'm thinking, easily with these on it, and you know, this is give or take a half an inch, so don't run me out of town for giving you the wrong dimensions. But I'm going to say with the hose, you're looking at about 23 inches of space you're going to need. I'm going to shove this inside right now and see. Yeah, luckily for me, I have the space because I built my my stand's actually 3 feet tall with 4x4s, so the inside space alone is going to give you 3 feet clearance, which is cool. I don't have a problem with that. As for the rest of you, if you're trying to put this on something small with a store-bought stand, definitely measure first. Okay, we've got the 2 plugs here. One just for the filter itself with an on-off, which I don't know if I added that on the 500 series, but it has an on-off switch on the actual cord itself. Fantastic, by the way. UV light on-off. So that's actually really cool. With, you know, anybody with a frugal can tell you, having to reach over and unplug 3 prongs when you got water everywhere isn't exactly fun. Okay, let's see if I can get this out of the bag. Alright. Okay, there you go. Take it all apart as quick as I possibly can. Looks like the same lid as the 500 series. From what I'm to understand, you can just order these if you have any problems with it. I haven't had zero problems at all with the 500, like nothing, and I've changed it. Or I should say I've cleaned it out about 4 or 5 times since I put that video up. The sponges, yeah, they're a little inconsistent with the dirt exchange, but again, for the flow rate, I don't think you can really beat that. Oh boy. So, right up on top, all kinds of stuff doing here. Okay. So this right here is the UV light. I believe it's a 9 volts that's in there. That's pretty big. And now that I see that, I am wondering, well, the foam pads are cut away. There's just so much foam in here. As you can see, 2 individuals, a blue and a white. And then onto the gigantic main pads down here. Luckily for this one, they put a slit in it so you can just slide it right out. Big blue pad. And then same thing down below. Move on to the white pad, and then down at the bottom, which I don't know if you really need to see it or not, or even care, but there's a pump down there with the black sponge. Hopefully you can see this. I don't know if you can. Oops. Something like that. Hang on a sec. So down there, yeah. Which I'm not currently. Oh, you know what? That's my mistake. This is actually the intake that goes inside the aquarium. This gigantic thing. I guess this is a sponge cover so that you don't suck up any of your fish. That's pretty big, and it doesn't have a closing at the bottom. I don't know if I saw one inside the box, but yeah, there isn't one inside the box. So I guess this right here is probably a necessity to put the big black sponge on it. I don't know how happy I am about having that gigantic thing in the tank. Considering the outlet is exactly the same size, I don't know what the point of this is. Seems like it's going to take in more water than it's going to flush out anyways. So that's basically it. Hopefully I got better video on this than I did the 500. Hopefully this helps somebody. Again, for the price of what, less than $100, I think 96 I paid for it, you know, free shipping, or it was 89 with free shipping, I believe. Top dog sellers on eBay. I don't work for them. I don't work for this company. I am not a reviewer of any type whatsoever. I have nothing to do with Odyssey. It's just at this point, being on a tight budget and wanting to have larger fish, it's really the only way that I can do it, other than scrounging around on Craigslist. So if you want new products, yeah, guess you're gonna have to go with these off-brand companies and give it a shot and see what works. But if this is any indicator, or I should say if the 500 is any indicator of what kind of equipment they're putting out, I would say that this right here is probably going to be able to do the 180 almost by itself, just based on the amount of water that is flowing through that 500 and the amount of garbage that's caught inside of it. So again, hope it helped. Don't feel free to leave comments. I don't really care. I'll put the best description of the video up that I can, and if you're looking for a filter on a budget, that is the way to go. Also, I have 2 of the Odyssey lights. Recommend them. No issues with those either. Okay, thanks a lot. Take care.